Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. I don't even know what to call this video. I'm gonna call it my immediate to be read video. So basically, it's a video about my to be read, immediate to be read shelf. So I have a shelf that basically was set up in my mind to be a shelf where I put all the books that I recently bought on it so that I would know that they were new or new-ish as it's starting to become. And then I would pick from that shelf first as opposed to picking from like the really, really older books and then move anything up there that I really wanted to read after I had completed those books. I have read a lot of things off the shelf, but there is a significant stack of reads on there. And since my goal is to read 2 physical books that I own before the end of the year, I thought I would just share what books are on my immediate, like the ones I want to get to first, to be read shelf. Will I read all of them? Probably not, but I might get to 2 of them. So the first thing I have would actually be a reread for me. So I wouldn't be counting this towards like reading 2 books I own, but I wanted to share them because they are on that shelf and I would like to reread them soon. And that is the 3 books in the Legends of Mirwood trilogy. I love this trilogy so much that even though I have it in ebook, I wanted to get the physical copies also. My mom wants to reread these because she read the series first before me and recommended it to me, and she wanted to read them in physical copies, so we bought the physical copies of them. I do really want to get to a reread of all 3 of these because there is a spin-off series that came out like forever ago, and I intended to reread these books forever ago to prep for the spin-off series. Did that happen? No. But I do highly recommend this series if you like strong female characters, if you like a really accessible fantasy novel. Next up, one of the ones that has been up there for a while is the book Just Like You. I believe this is like an age gap sort of romance. This is also Nick Hornby, so he probably has some fun, crazy spin on this. I really enjoy that this author does a really good job at discussing kind of difficult topics, but through the lens of comedy. I'm ashamed that I have not read this next one. I actually asked like my Instagram people to pick what Shakespeare I should read next, and that was like 4 years ago, and I don't think I've read Shakespeare in like 4 years. I used to read like 1 Shakespeare play a year, and I don't know what happened, but I just got out of the habit of it. So I was supposed to read A Winter's Tale like I said, probably 4 years ago, and it's just been sitting on my immediate to be read shelf for eternity. I even thought that I was going to read it last year because one of like the bonus challenges for like one of my reading challenges was to read a play. So I thought, oh, I can read The Winter's Tale, and then I didn't. I think part of it is I do want to watch some version of this before I start it, but I really would like to get to it because everybody says this play is amazing. And then we have Luck of the Titanic. I love stuff about the Titanic. That is just like one of my things for sure. I'm particularly intrigued to check this one out because it's about Chinese characters on the Titanic. Would love to learn more about that. So I think that this will be definitely right up my alley, and because like I said, I love reading stuff about Titanic and I love learning new perspectives of historical events, which is another thing. I think I will probably pick this one up soon because this channel is slowly becoming an ode to historical fiction. Another book that I am ashamed to say that I've left on my shelf for a small eternity is A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Been really wanting to read a Hemingway. I think I hit a moment where like this seems like it's going to be a pretty dark read, and I definitely in the last couple of years with my struggles with depression and anxiety, was not in the mood to read an emo dark read. But I think maybe soon I will be ready. But the things that encouraged me to want to finally pick this up, even though I must have bought this 4 or 5 years ago, is that, yay, the print is like a reasonable size for a modern classic book. Yay. And I do think that I am very excited to read Ernest Hemingway's writing style. I've heard that he's a fan of short sentences, which I am also a fan of. This pledge, I believe this is actually set in my town, set in the Civil War. I haven't read a Civil War sort of drama story in a really long time, and I thought, since I actually am sort of like familiar with the location, as well as, you know, growing up here and like studying elements of the Civil War quite often in like grade school and some in middle school, I thought that I would get something, you know, interesting out of this. But being a Christian, I do like to try out Christian fictions. I'm trying to try out more because I would eventually like to make some sort of recommendation video. Granted, I need to probably try out more that aren't just historical fiction, because I feel like that is the normal go-to, and a lot of my favorites are historical fictions. But I have tried some other genres. I probably should try some other genres of Christian fiction. If you have some that you can recommend below, let me know so that I can check those out. A couple of Barnes & Noble shops ago last year, I did recall that I wanted to purchase a book recommendation that someone gave me. So I completed, like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, the book Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. And I really loved that book. And someone on Instagram, when I said that I wanted to read more Francine Rivers books, said that I should start the Mark of the Lion series. And the first book in that series is Voice of the Wind. So I saw this book when I was in the Bible section. This is another Christian fiction. And I decided to just pick it up since I was intrigued to pick it up. Anyway, the person that recommended it, I can't remember who it was, but they said that this one's a little slower to get into than obviously Redeeming Love, which is a standalone. Sorry, I can't use my words. But I'm thinking that even if this is a little slower, it's possibly justifiable, because I believe that it might be set like in Roman times. I think there's going to be a lot of not only character introduction, but a lot of introduction to like the time period itself and, you know, the political upheaval of that, which definitely intrigues me. It's not a element of time that I really have read a lot of. So I think it will be a little something different for me. The last book is something that's like for a video idea that I may or may not end up making, where I read like Western books, because I don't really read Westerns. I don't know why. I don't have like an issue with the genre. I will say that as a genre in like movies, it's not really my vibe, much to the chagrin of my dad and my uncles. But I thought maybe I would like Western books. So I wanted to make a video where I would give that a try. I don't think that I'm going to make this video, so I got this book to prep for it. And that would be Lonesome Dove. I believe that this is one of the most well-known Western type books. And so I decided, since I saw it at the Costco, that I would give it a buy, just in case that video happens in like the next year. I definitely want to make it. I just don't know when I want to make it. I think I need to finish some other projects first. So this will definitely probably be one of the books that I read for that. Although, wow, It is a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. And I honestly, other than the title and like some vague imagery that I may have seen like in passing, I know nothing about this, other than that it's a Western. So yeah. Also, if you have any suggestions of Western genre novels to read, recommend those below as well, because I might consider one or two of those in my ideas for that video. I have one suggestion from my dad, and then I have this one that I was just gonna read because, you know, everybody talks about this one. And I have one suggestion from my mom that I think is by the same author. If you have one that is not by the same author of this book, let me know. Those were the books that I have on my immediate to be read shelf. Let me know which of these you think that I should pick up first. And also, if you have any book recommendations, let me know. If you want to tell me all those in the comments, I'm happy to look into those. So that is it for the day, my fabulous peeps. I will see you all soon. Bye.